welcome to everybody out there in the Facebook universe. That's what you're looking at today on your screen is the beautiful Tanunda Oval, which is undergoing some redevelopment.
Yes, being turned into what's going to be a magnificent facility by the time we're done, Dan. And welcome everyone to the BLG Game of the Day, being live streamed to you from Tanunda Oval, as Dan mentioned. Between Tanunda and Nuri, this is a rivalry game that is rivaled by few other contests, Dan.
Indeed goes back generations, and something we love. 6 kilometres between two towns tends to do that.
Yes, kids going to school together every day, and that's going to build a rivalry anytime when you've got to play against each other, then show up on Monday morning to deal with the team that beat you.
Indeed.
And we're in the later stages of the B grade at the moment. Currently, Nuri 8-7-55, leading Tanunda
6 goals, 5-41
on the Barossa scoreboard. And yeah, later stages of the game. It's been an interesting game of B grade footy. Really tight tussle. Neither team able to break free. See a high ball in the centre. No one able to take that mark. Nuri player brings it down, going one way or the other, and then he's tackled. That should be holding the ball, and it's been paid.
Depends which league you're in. If you're watching the game last night, that was play on, wasn't it?
We don't worry about the AFL rules. They're trying to ruin the game. We're trying to save it.
Long kick down to the forward line, heading towards Tanunda's northern goal. Some young fellas down there having a real crack.
Nuri player comes out the back of the pack, puts it on the foot, smothered, heads to the boundary, but a Nuri player able to gather it before it goes out. That little kick goes on the outside of the boot, and that's going to go out of bounds, so it'll be a free kick to Tanunda with the last touch rule coming in this season, Dan.
Something I'll have to get used to. But thanks, Mike Teakle, down here from Anguston, and our host today. Nice to have some people of fellow culture before we get our guests from Nuriootpa to come here and disturb the peace.
That's lovely to get a cheap shot in early while he's not here, Dan. Classy.
There might be a few more while he's sitting next to me. You never know it. But just to give those looking at Tanunda Oval for the first time this year, a bit of a heads up. As you mentioned before, Mike, the Barossa Council is footing helping to bring forward some $40 million of sport and rec spend in the region across the whole area, and part of that is the redevelopment here at the Tanunda Recreation Park.
Yes, it's a magnificent project, and it's great to see the government finally investing in the future of kids in this region.
Absolutely. The earliest parts of that plan were all about sports tourism and the value of sports tourism. We all know that wine and food are great things, and thank you to Grant Burge Wines for sponsoring the league. But certainly there's a lot of value we're seeing nationally in sports tourism, and the value for that, and obviously sport and recreation for kids these days is up there as well, and we need to be looking after that.
Definitely, and not just here. We've seen a large development occur at Anguston in the last 12 months, and that's only just come to fruition. So magnificent setup there at Anguston now. So Tanunda catching up.
Yeah, might I say that Tanunda was the catalyst, and we're willing to be the last off of the ranks to benefit from it.
That's okay. It'll be magnificent when it's done. I'm still getting used to the move of the scoreboard here. Every time there's a goal kick, my head turns to the left.
Yeah, it's been there for 25 or 30 years, so it's very difficult to look around to the right. But the Tanunda boys are putting up a fair shot. It looks like there's a lot of senior Colts out there. It's young James Rothy there, number 38.
Yes, a real changing of the guard in Tanunda's B grade this year. It seems a lot of old heads have moved on and sort of moved into retirement, which is great after being great servants of the club.
Absolutely.
And speaking of great servants of the club, there's a reunion day here at Tanunda today. If you want to see a lot of old faces, today is the day to come down. Massive, I think there's 5 teams involved in the reunion today.
There is indeed. Past players, officials, and the premierships that finished in a 2. So there is a lot of those around. going back to, well, I don't think any of the guests would be here from the 1922 Premiership side.
You never know. Some of these old Tanunda guys are well preserved.
Might have something to do with the produce of the region, I think.
Yes, and as we see, the reserves just come to a finish, and a 14-point win for Nuri. 8 goals, 7.55 to Tanunda, 6.5.41 on the Birds Barossa scoreboard. So one away win for Nuri so far. But also tonight at Tanunda, there's an op-shop night with Colonel Mustard playing. Colonel Mustard, one of the best local bands that you'll find, and it'll be a fantastic night here at Tanunda.
Fronted by the inimitable Rick Lane, who would be showing up in, what do we say, safari suit, sports suit.
He's the king of the safari suit.
He also doesn't mind a uni-coloured tracksuit of a favourite 1980s or 70s basketball or football side.
He's got some style, but they are a fantastic band, and this is going to be the place to be in the Barossa tonight. If you want to come somewhere, have a bit of fun, this is the place to be tonight.
Just looking through the list here, we've got the Tanunda Footy Club 1982 premiers against Udunda. That was a big win, big game that one, actually, from all reports. It was very physical, 1982.
Udunda were always pretty tough back then.
Yes. Then there's the 92 B grade premiership with former President Andrew Heyman being named best on ground.
I can't imagine Harms being a wilting flower on the field.
No, sharp elbows apparently. 2002 A grade premiership with former president here that took over from me, Danny Westhoff, and father of the Westhoffs, is holding aloft the trophy. And that was a good one because it was against Nuriootpa.
That's one that I've still talked about with a lot of pleasure in Tanunda.
And the 2012 Senior Colts Premiers, which has some fantastic young players in the A grade today. We're running around in that 2012. I believe it was undefeated premiers that year.
Yes, and there's some generations coming through the Tanunda Footy Club now. Looking at today's team sheet, some of the names there, their fathers were magnificent servants of the Tanunda Footy Club.
Absolutely.
Names like Martin,
Hokeless,
Westhoff, BLG,
Fechner,
Falkenberg.
yeah, Gers. So they're there.
It's
gonna.
One of the things I love about coming to Tanunda is you have that family connectivity through. You can remember the previous generations and the similarities between the players. As we see Nuri running out onto the ground now.
Absolutely, and I think there's some sons of guns running around out there. Was it the 3 in a row premiership in the 90s?
Yes.
So there's Westlakes and
Giles,
Norton,
Rosenzweig.
all these lads, all having sons that are continuing on their legacy. So
yes, and really going to be an interesting game last week. Tanunda coming off a shock loss at Barossa Districts, and Nuri coming off imposing win over Angaston on Anzac Day.
I think the win at Barossa, the loss at Barossa was certainly not anticipated. There were some significant outs due to the old spicy cough, I believe, from the Tanunda side, and they do have a fairly solid running team down there. So it's not going to be the pushover everybody thought possibly could happen. But certainly the game today, in perfect conditions, might I add, perfect autumn conditions, a slight southeasterly blowing, which will come up from Maria Street, which is a renowned funnel from one end of the oval to the other. It'll be to the left of your television dial.
I've heard Maria Street called a lot of things, but not a funnel.
Let that one go through to the keeper, thanks, Teeks.
But yes, a beautiful day here at Tanunda. If you are at home and you're still humming and hawing about, do I come and watch footy or not? I think it would be a great idea if you did come down. Beautiful day here at Tanunda, and going to be a really strong performance from both teams.
And I think we'll be looking at close to 1,000 people here today. The Tanunda Netball Club have their sponsors day over the back, so there's a big crowd out there watching the girls play. and it is building here at the on the forecourt of the magnificent Tanunda Oval.
Yes, a lot of history here, a lot of memories for a lot of people in the region, not just from Tanunda. And we see the teams just going through their warm-ups now. I'm really looking forward to this game. I'm expecting there to be a little bit of spice early. Both teams are going to be desperate for a win. It's an important time of year. It's not late season, but early wins do matter in the BLG.
Absolutely. You only got 16 rounds. You want to make the most of it. So it's, what are we, round 4 now?
Correct.
It's now time to really step up, and the pre-season has worn off. You're now getting that battle hardened. You want to be putting it on the park today.
That's right. And see, players really starting to fire up now. Tanunda boys starting to get a little bit of physical in their warm-up. Nuri just going through the motions, just going through their set routine.
If I'm not mistaken, I'd say the Nuri side does look a little heavier in body mass. There's a fairly light and lean group of Tanunda boys out there. It's quite a tall side too. So.
A little bit of height in the Nuri side, a little bit deceptive in that they don't have genuine, seriously tall players, but then they have an average height that's pretty good. They've got a lot of 6'2", 6'3" players that can run.
Bart Ryan's pretty handy out of the middle. Not a bad cricketer either. He should be overseas playing cricket.
Should be, but that would take dedication. But probably a big out for Tanunda today. Jordan Fennell not taking the field.
For Nuriootpa.
Correct.
Long time since he played for Tanunda.
Sorry, for Nuri, my bad. But yes, he
that
was
is a big
very impressive last week. He was so strong in the ruck for them.
A lot of experience too down at Central Districts, and working off of his brother as well. So they make a pretty imposing pair.
So that's probably something that plays into Tanunda's hand a little bit. But I was really impressed with Nuri last week. Very clinical the way they went about things. And a couple of the new faces, Nick Gregurki, really impressed me. Coming across from Pascaville, he's a zone player and shows a lot of class.
It'll be interesting to see some of these lads. Kirkwood for Tanunda missed out last week with the spicy cough. So we look forward to seeing him. And there's a couple of young blokes that are quite exciting. Young Jack Nichols, Hamish Martin, and Brock Wilch, stepping up from the Colts. They're exciting hard nuts, and I think they'll offer a lot. But when you look at players that have played at the highest level, with John Greedslade, Henry Voigt, obviously Kirkwood, and don't forget we've got Matthew Westhoff, Sam Cahoon coming through. So it's nothing to be sneezed at. And down front, I think young Henry Smith's been really presenting well and up forward. And if they can get first, Tanunda can get first use out of the centre from their pair of ruckmen in young Falkenberg and Voigt, then it'll be a really dour, interesting struggle, I think, today.
Actually, you've mentioned all the big names. There's a couple of players that I'm really looking forward to seeing their impact today. Isaac Feltus, I think he is a dynamic player, extremely physical, the way he attacks the contest and the player with the ball. I think he can really shake the game up. And Trent Gers, last year in particular, really came into the game on his terms. He's now very strong, hits the ball hard. I think he's another player that we can watch for today.
And
to
we
really
got
make
the
a
ball
difference.
up. We got Voigt against
Fernell
in the
big
middle.
Tap.
And there's a
going
big
Nuri's
physical
way.
clash in the middle. Quick hands out.
And we'll see a free kick going Tanunda's way.
That's
Might
young
have been a little
Cahoon.
trip. Cahoon now to drive the ball forward.
Long penetrating kick forward. Going for the big forwards up there.
The contest comes down to a Nuri player who's tackled immediately, stripped of the ball, and the ball heads out to the outer side boundary, and we'll have a throw in around the 50-metre mark in Tanunda's forward line. No, sorry, not a throw in, a free kick. The last touch rule going Tanunda's way. That ball driven deep, right to the goal square. Large pack flies. And Nuri now running the ball. Advocat's going tight on the boundary line, but a beautiful mark. Actually
Well,
dropped
he's
there.
absolutely dropped what he should have swallowed up
He
there.
had that completely
Young
in
Lavity
his arms.
there.
A big mess because he just fumbled that over the line. Now we've got a ball in. Player who took the ball taken heavily.
Fernell and Voigt are going to have a big physical contest there in the middle, I think. It's that young Falkenberg that's Todd Falkenberg up against Fernell. No clear ball. There's a clear kick out of the pack. And again, we got a ball in deep in the forward pocket for Tanunda. It's a good throw in. Good forward tap there. Then young Brett Dowse has taken the intercept mark. This is not outside of his zone, actually. He's
probably
a very
going to
sweet.
be kicking from right on the 50.
He is a very sweet striker of the ball.
He's a right footer, and this is the right sort of angle. Just playing right into his hands here. He's got a little bit of wind assistance. Comes around.
Well, he's hooked that.
A little bit too much hook.
Plenty of distance, though.
Just lost a bit of accuracy with the running around to get the extra distance.
So on the Grant Burge Wine scoreboard, Tanunda take the early lead, 1.20. I think the breeze is playing a bit of a factor here. As I was saying earlier, it does come from the southeast. It's a spilt mark at half back, but Nuriootpa have got the run on.
This is where Nuri look their best, when they run in numbers.
That's
Tanunda
a
are able to
solid-
hold that up with a solid tackle.
Solid tackle, and there's a bit of push and shove.
Just each reintroducing themselves. Haven't seen each other for a little while, so just saying hello.
It's always interesting, the new recruits that get indoctrinated to how they should be doing it.
And beautiful kick forward there for Tanunda.
Feldus to Smith. Smith very clever off the ground to nobody though.
Nuri with a kick out. Finds Terence Wilfred on the half-back line. Now he's looking for a player clear up ahead. Just taking his time. Going to go long down the line, it seems. Does that now. No player able to reel it in. We'll have a ball up on the outer wing.
Young Heinze dropping the mark there, which is unfortunate at half-back. Kirkwood went straight through the pack there beautifully, just didn't quite collect the ball. And it's another ball up. This is going to be part of what we'll see today.
I think especially early, until players get a little tired, then we might see something break open. Voigt, or Falkenberg, sorry, with the hand on the ball there. Comes into the pack. Just going to see another ball up. Umpire Patterson working overtime.
Yeah, we've got Voigt against Fernell in the ruck. Well taken there, but a shank kick.
Goes out of bounds, so it'll be a free kick to Tanunda.
Well, young Biaggi to bring the ball back in. I think that's young Biaggi from there.
Bring the ball down the outer wing. Strong marking contest, comes to ground, and that player wrapped up straight away.
Gurkey appears to be getting right in the middle of it.
Neither ruckman able to affect that throw up. And we'll see another ball up. In fact, a
There's
boundary throw in.
still a bit going on here. There seems to be some additional...
and a free kick paid to Tanunda there for a trip, I believe.
Bit of an indiscretion, I reckon. We've got to be careful with some of these clashes where there's a bit of spite, that your over-enthusiasm doesn't cost your team.
Correct. Especially early.
Nick Madden with a very good mark there at half-back.
Just goes backwards now. Finds a teammate. And now they're going right across the face. Very dangerous but clever play. Finds a teammate out on this flank at the 50.
Young Westlake.
He's an impressive young player, Doc. Now he's requesting someone to lead for him.
Bit of stop-start.
Goes down the wing. And 3 Tanunda players at that contest.
Bailey Smith just read it beautifully. And he's got Sam Cahoon all on his own, 35 metres out, directly in front.
And we'll be kicking from at least 40 to 42 out, but you would think he's got this in his kit bag.
Yeah, very clever. And great eyes. Great eyes to see on the fat side, the availability of a player, and perfectly delivered.
But on the flip side of that, there's no way that a player like Sam Colquhoun should be allowed loose inside the forward 50.
It tells me the Nuriootpa coach will be having a word about that.
I think he might be having several, and we wouldn't be able to repeat them, as Colquhoun hits the post. Hit it near the top of the post. New post here at Tanunda.
Yeah, finally got
AFL-style square post just to fit the scenery.
Finally got rid of the water pipe.
They were a bit round for the Tanunda mindset.
Good defence there from young Heinze. Strong punch to the boundary line.
So we'll see a boundary throw in probably about 70 metres from Tanunda's goal. Some big, strong work there from Voigt. Ball comes down to a Nuri player who's wrapped up immediately. So we'll see another ball up. Both ruckmen engaging well before the ball comes down.
Cahoon again with a deft touch.
Nuri player gets a hack kick forward. Tanunda with the advantage now. Matty Westhoff out in the clear.
The skipper drives it long and forward. Good kick to a lead.
That ball picked up nicely off the deck. Little chip kick finds
Griffiths to that man who has brought his own ball this afternoon. That is Sam Cahoon, I believe.
Sam Colquhoun now lining up for his second set shot of the day. He's a little bit further out, but distance didn't trouble him last time. It's all about the accuracy.
You want to make the most of having this breeze, because I'm sure that Nuriootpa will be champing at the bit to have a run with it in the second quarter.
Yes, and notorious here for Tanunda. It's not real strong now, but it can pop up a little bit more during the day.
Well, he's pulled the kick. Overcorrected. No score.
No score at all. So Tanunda still 2 points leading Nuri yet to score on the Grant Burge Barossa scoreboard.
Young Norton with a big kick out to a contest.
Beautiful take over the back of the pack there.
Young Wilfred.
Wilfred now running. Great handball to a player in the middle of the ground.
Sam Schmal, I believe.
Schmal
and the
picks
young
to Jack
fellas,
Hankey, who made his way deep into the forward line. No one had the legs to go with him.
Fleet of foot.
Young Squeak now going to line up for Nuri's first shot on goal for the day.
Correct me if I'm wrong, is that young Sam Fallon playing out of full forward?
I believe so, yes. Yes, it is. Very handy footballer. Spent a fair bit of time down at Central Districts in recent years. And a perfect kick from Jack Hankey. First goal of the day. The first goal for Ray White Craigmore.
Tanunda would be ruining the misses.
Yeah, absolutely. But that first goal coming at the 9.5 minute mark on the Ray White Craigmore score clock.
Well said.
If you're looking for real estate in the northern suburbs, Joey Cirillo from Ray White Craigmore is the man to see. He'll sell you real estate just about anywhere.
We've got the ball up again.
Big
Voigt and
tap from
Furnell.
Voigt.
Kirkwood with the ball and a quick handball out.
Beautiful deliveries deep forward, but a strong marking defence for the Tigers. Now they open up to this.
Tanunda forward didn't go with that backman.
Ball coming out wide now. Nuri with another mark and a kick to the forward line. Finding a player. Grigurki again on the lead.
Looked like he kicked that off of his shin. You got young Hokeless there who's absolutely cut it through the middle. Dangerous kick across the face. You want to make that count.
But Tanunda able to mop up. Good work in defence.
Good to have the ruckman back there, Voigt. Yeah. Cahoon to Kirkwood.
Moving the ball out. Handballs it back to Colquhoun. Colquhoun kicking it out of danger now. And that ball punched out of bounds, so the Tanunda get a chance to reset.
So there's been some delivery to Big Falkenberg running out of full forward there that hasn't quite gone to hand. Then again, he looks like he gets himself a little bit. He's not reaching out to get the ball. He should be using his God-given talents of arms that are 23 foot long.
Ball coming back into the midfield now. Tanunda are able to gather.
Bailey Smith on the
Smith with
non-preferred.
the leg going into the forward line. Trent Gers now in good position. Just sees the ball over the boundary line.
Pretty impressive movement of the ball from Nuriootpa on the grandstand wing there.
They've got a lot of that about their game. When they start moving like that, they're very hard to stop. Ball comes down to Tanunda. Very heavy tackle there.
Johnny Greenslade there for Tanunda. Ex-Sturt, very, very physical player.
Clear tap for Tanunda. Thought just bring the ball, but no real winner at ground level. Seeing a lot of experience at these contests. Senior players willing to just take the hit.
Well, that's a long time holding the ball there, umpire, but obviously...
No barracking, Dan.
No barracking. Not allowed to barrack?
It's slightly unprofessional.
If I was getting paid for it, I'd say then that would be professional. That's a great tackle there. There's a shot by Greenslade, and he split the middle.
Wow. That's just using that strength that you spoke about to maintain your balance while being tackled. That's a fantastic goal to get Tanunda on the board for the first time with a major. And another goal for Ray White Craigmore.
Both half-back lines are rebounding very well. We've seen some pretty errant movement into the forward line, particularly on Tanunda's, going Tanunda's way, with a lot of efficiency in for Nuriootpa. I think one inside 50 or two inside 50s for one goal. So says a lot for having an effective half-back line.
And good tap there by Nuri Ruckman, but came straight down to a Tanunda player. And Tanunda able to hack that ball forward.
Nuriootpa's movement is far superior. That's a dropped ball there. Nobody's dissenting.
No one's going to throw the arms up over that one. That was clearly taken to ground. Well defended by the Tanunda defender.
There's a rolling maul here.
Another ball up about 35 metres directly in front of Nuri's goal. Clear tap from
to
Tanunda,
advantage.
But Gregurki sharked that ball beautifully. Kicked it over his left shoulder. Just missed and came back.
The belly of the
behind
ball,
the
I think.
post.
Bailey Smith is called to play on. On his non-preferred, he's delivered to Trent Gers on the wing. Gers cleans up his mess and then delivers into the middle and unfortunately misses his target in Greenslade.
And Nuri able to drive that ball forward as a result. Goes over the back of the marking contest. Real pressure on Tanunda's defence now. And that ball just going to ground. Handball backwards from Nuri. Shot around the corner.
Some could have considered that a one-hand handball, but it was effectively disposed of. And another miss to Nuriootpa. Matthew Westhoff to bring the ball back in. Chooses to go short again. He goes to Dowse.
It's a good choice.
Dowse out to Biaggi. Biaggi down the wing. To the long kick.
Finds a Tanunda player on the lead.
Young Jack Nichols there.
He drives the ball deep.
Smith being worn like a cheap suit. And then there's
a beautiful tackle takes the Nuri player down there.
Some heavy tackling. And the ball's been locked into that half-forward flank there for Tanunda.
We've seen a lot of ball there so far today.
It can get locked there because of the way the breeze blows. It can actually, the play can naturally get pushed across there. Both big boys would say they won the tap there. There's a big punch on by Furnell. Dowse with a sling tackle got his handball away. And Greenslade having another shot on goal. And it's out of bounds on the full.
Lightning doesn't strike twice.
Might have been on his odd foot, but It's pretty exciting football here at the moment.
Very tight.
Lot of. Once the ball gets out, though, both sides are freely moving the ball. Once it gets to contest, though, she's physical. It's on.
Nuri going down the defensive side now with a long kick.
In sport, handball to a man in trouble.
But to be fair, everyone in that region was covered. Let's see another ball up from umpire Patterson.
Nuriootpa moving forward. There's a push in the back declared.
It was mild, but the umpire was in perfect position.
So two hands on the middle of the back sort of give it away. The ball was a bit long there from Heinze. Young BLG couldn't get it, and it's is that last touch, or was it touched? It's touched. So
touched off hands.
Off hands.
So that fingernail Benny got on it was just enough.
There's Tanunda bench. We've got young Feltus coming off, and Hugh Smart coming on. Bit of pace. Got a ball in, dead centre wing. Both ruckmen go at it again. There's a tap right into the face of Calhoun. But he's up and about. Biaggi delivering again. The ball going forward. Voigt had the ball go through his hands. It's been intercepted here. Aaron Burt. Smith takes on the tackler. And it'll be called a ball up.
Really strong scrambling defence from the Tigers there. Stop what looked like was building towards a certain goal for Tanunda.
Absolutely.
So we see Jack Henke coming back onto the field, the lone goal scorer for Nuri.
Falkenberg to Smith. Smith does a tight, very good turn, and he's been called out of bounds. Don't know how a 6'4" bloke can turn like that, but he did it very well.
Certainly his father couldn't do that.
Cactus preferred turning slower circles, usually in a paddock.
If he did run, it was always in a straight line.
Handball to nobody there. It's a physical work. Ball to be won.
Nuri
cleared it.
Long ball into the forward line. Some heavy body work under that contest. Tanunda player able to find front spot, but overruns it. Nuri player kicks through with a dribble kick.
There's a bit of carnage. There's some bodies on ground
goal
here.
There. Another goal for Ray White Craigmore.
So Nuriootpa go to 2-2-14. Tanunda a 1-2-8. And again, it's that fast break football. They're playing an open paddock type forward line.
Nuri don't have key forwards. They want that one-on-one contest, and they want speed to be the killer.
Young Fernell's checked out of the quarter. Bart Ryan is checked in to take the ruck there for Nuriootpa.
Here he comes. And a clear tap for Falkenberg.
Voigt,
sorry.
Yeah. So under forwards don't look like they're really attacking that contest. It's but being led to the ball by the Nuriootpa players.
To be fair, that sort of entry doesn't favour a forward who attacks the contest. It's a high floating kick.
It's a mongrel kick.
Yes. And being in front and on the lead wouldn't advantage you in that situation.
Some handy ball there. Young Biaggi delivering to the forward line. Big contest. Falkenberg couldn't get it. There's a handball up.
Able to handball
Griffiths
out.
laying the tackle. It's a gang tackle there.
Heavy tackle laid there on Brad Hapner. Smith with a saving tackle. If Hapner had been able to shrug that, another player on the receive and Nuri were out.
Voigt, great tap straight through to Griffiths. And Griffiths shank kick into the forward line. But Hugh Smart has given the ball off.
Nuri with a
bit of a juggle
and kick.
And Bart Ryan spilt the ball there, but it's been able to be mopped up. And now this run of the half back line for Nuriootpa. Done in by the elliptical shaped ball, unfortunately.
And no more words like elliptical. It's too early in the day. There's that ball hacked forward for Nuri. That bounce gets out the back.
Goal side again.
Just smacks the ball forward, hoping that the player can run onto it, but the Tanunda
Smith
defence
has
is
been
up to
able
it.
to.
Smith
Great
just
work
coming
there,
out.
Smith. Biaggi's going to have to commit to it. Oh no, it's young Parker.
And another mark in defence there for Tanunda.
It's young Dowse.
Dowse has been good so far.
He has been. He's been quite prominent.
Just very patient. Doesn't panic under pressure. I like that about him.
Matthew Westhoff chips a kick to no one. It was a really
Actually,
poorly.
it did go to someone. It went to Nuri. As they now bring the ball in with a short chipping kick. Not really to anyone.
Good defensive punch there. Zane Kirkwood picks up the ball. And again, we've got Sam Calhoun out on the wing by himself. How does that happen?
That's almost an unfair combination, Kirkwood to Calhoun.
Gers delivering.
Beautiful kick in from
I
Gers.
believe that's young Feltus there that's just taken the field.
That's Isaac Feltus. And that kick from Gers was perfectly weighted. The only person who had a chance at that was Feltus.
Absolutely. He had no choice but to run at the ball.
And that's the kind of delivery we haven't been seeing into the Tanunda forward line for the day.
No, absolutely. But again, off
Feltus
half back.
goes back and drills for another goal for Ray White Craigmore. And now on the Birds Barossa scoreboard, that takes us to 2-2-14, playing 2-2-14. So the game all tied up. And we are nearly 23 minutes into the first quarter on the Ray White Craigmore time clock. So neither team willing to give ground at this stage. A lot of back and forth. Still yet to see any weakness show up in either side. Ruck contest has been very even. Neither team able to establish dominance.
Greenslade was trying to chase that down. Smith at the half back
That's
line.
a beautiful take by the Nuri player.
But he was caught in a fantastic tackle by Fechner. Fechner's Smith's delivery out to Isaac Feltus, the recent goal kicker. And he's looking patiently around. It's a big contest.
Players scrapping for that ball. And it's a really strong tackle laid there. The Nuri player able to hang on to the ball and get it out. Good by hand. This little chip kick finds Terence Wilfred on the halfback flank. He wheels around on his left. Drives the ball forward. And a really strong mark taken in defence by Lee Westhoff. He settles now by switching the play.
Matthew Westhoff there. Lee now retired. Greenslade out to the wing. And Biaggi out with a mile of room to his own. Gers again delivering, getting the delivery.
Really getting busy now, Gers.
Smith. They've called play on. Some could have said he was the only one that touched it.
But the other two who touched it probably would argue. Ball now comes out. Strong mark from Tanunda. Little
Parker.
chip kick back in. Oh,
Bit too much on that one. Griffiths from the pocket.
But Griffiths should have held that. To a contest in the goal square and just knocked through for a minor score for the Magpies.
Yeah, I think we mentioned it earlier. Tanunda will rue poor delivery into their forward line.
Absolutely. They've had the bulk of the play, and in terms of forward entries, they would be at least 3 times the amount of Nuriootpas, and they are 1 point ahead.
Big spoiling contest there at the half back line for Nuriootpa. Some good handball work there, and finding the player in the midfield.
Had a player in the middle, but it was the Tanunda defender coming from behind who marked the ball.
Kirkwood drives it long. Again.
To a contest.
Delivery into the forward line. Very, very poor. And there's a snap-on goal by young Biaggi for a point.
I'm confused. Tanunda are still playing as if they've got Josh Trembath down there. And they don't. You can't play that way without a key forward.
I think they're hoping that Fraser Smith develops into that role. He's got a good size, he's got good pace, he's got good awareness, but creating that space comes with having that presence.
Yes.
And Trembath had that presence for the last 3 or 4 years.
That ball chipped into the goal square. You're looking to come out, tried to run around his opponent and got taken down. That's really, really poor and dangerous play from the Nuri defender. If that had resulted in a goal, I think the bench would have been his friend very quickly.
Yeah, not the sort of activity you want to see deep in the last line of defence.
Ryan brings that ball to ground and Nuri able to collect.
Bit of a shank kick again.
Shank kick phases the Nuri player in the middle of the
Doherty
ground.
to Kirkwood. Looping handball.
Backward finds Dowse. He drives the ball forward, but again, Jenner able to claim that mark.
Jenner's been really handy this last 5 minutes. He's rebounded a lot of ball.
Rebounded, but he's also directing traffic beautifully back there, and Tanunda are playing into his hands. He's able to
outside
control
run
the players. Ball into the forward line now, and a little bit of speed for Tanunda back there.
BLG to Calhoun.
And Calhoun to clear.
Calhoun to Kirkwood.
It's a beautifully delivered kick. That is a superb kick. Gers was on that. And another
Green
nice
slide
kick
in the
middle.
centre.
It's a great combination of really good senior players there.
There's a lot of experience there.
That ball not quite as well delivered. Comes over the back. Dowse able to gain the ball.
Dowse with time. He's shanked that.
Kicked it around the corner blindly.
Pretty good pickup there by young Falkenberg. He dived on the ball again, though, but they're going to call it.
Yes, you can't dive on the ball, even in this league.
And Nick Madden was patient and just stood over him and put his hand up and said, umpire, please.
Well spoiled. Comes down to the Tanunda player. He taps it forward. Ball driven back in now.
Smith to Smith.
That's a little bit better. Just moving the ball quickly, you don't give the defence time to set.
No, indeed. The ball fell into an area that it forced the forward to attack. He's going to have a shot on goal after the siren.
Always test the nerves, no matter how easy the shot is.
It's about 25 out,
We've got a
45-degree angle.
Perfect view behind him here. As he that's a sublime drop punt through the goal. As we see Tanunda now take the lead. That'll be 3-goal 4-22, playing Nuri 2-goal 2-14 on the Burge Barossa scoreboard. As we reach quarter time here in the game of the day, Tanunda hosting Nuri at Tanunda Oval. What are your thoughts on that first quarter, Dan?
Well, I think that the game is really evenly poised. There's obviously some wind playing Merry Hill with ball to boot, and both sides have been at the mercy of that. But at the same stage, it's how you finish, and we've seen that there's probably the scoreboard would suggest that Tanunda should be probably 2 or 3 goals up. To be quite honest, we've seen a lot of ball go in for no result into their forward line without any real structure. And you mentioned it before; it's as if they're expecting to have a key forward there. With Nuriootpa, their rebound of their half-back has been exquisite when they've been able to get out and run. And we can see their game plan, as you mentioned, that there's a paddock-style football where they want to set their pace alight to run into those open areas.
Gregurki's been fantastic for the Tigers. I think his attack on the footy, he just drives the ball forward relentlessly, and he's got great running power.
Oh, indeed.
And again, it's those little forwards like Jack Henke who can use their pace in the forward line. They know they don't have a key forward and they're playing as such.
Is a game plan like that going to have a certain amount of redundancy in it with the way a midfield can continue to pile of football in there without that rotation? I don't know, but I would suggest that the scoreboard is fair at the moment, but Tanunda would be ruining missed opportunities.
Tanunda, the scoreboard is probably very accurate. Tanunda had the bulk of possession, and in terms of forward entries, Tanunda were well ahead, but the quality of ball going forwards, even from some of their class senior players that we spoke of, was very, very poor.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll see. I'm sure that they'll address this in conversation. Well, whilst everybody's getting together, interesting to see that Tanunda's split into their 3 groups, different line coaches. Nuriootpa's gone into a single huddle, and I'm sure Nuri will have a message that'll be resounding in use the breeze, deliver it better into the forward line, and use your pace. Tanunda are going to have to defend really stoutly to stop that fast break football that Nuriootpa have been able to produce a couple of times.
I just noticed one of the greats of the Tanunda Football Club, Adrian Catchard, making his way up to the middle. And so it's going to be a magnificent night here at Tanunda tonight with Adrian on board.
I've spotted some heads from the 2002 Premiership getting around. And they're
rough heads, aren't they?
Yes, yeah, there's some that only mothers would love, is the best way to put it, I would say.
I'm not sure the mothers would, to be honest. If the mothers had seen them at this age, they would have left them at the fire station. Yes, we see the crowd now starting to make their way off the oval. Players heading to their positions. This second quarter, Newry have got the breeze. If they can take advantage of that, it's going to really set the game up.
There's obviously some players missing from both sides at the moment, with Jordan Furnell down, but equally with Tanunda, you got Lockie Earl that went down with a shoulder, so he's out for several weeks, and
yes.
His ability to get the ball out of middle is just sublime.
Neither ruckman able to get a touch on that ball. And we'll have another ball up straight away as players dive onto it.
Voigt wins the tap down, but it's being taken out of the middle. There's a throw been called.
One arm pinned as he tried to deliver a handball.
That man Calhoun has the ball. Out to Douse.
Calhoun had a couple of set shots on goal in that first quarter, but a lot of his football was gained behind half back.
There's an opportunity for a contest on the wing there, and both players tended to watch to see what the ball was going to do rather than attack it, which is, I feel it might be indicative of the rule change.
Ball going forward now for Newry. Henke out the back.
Aaron Fechner
coming back
held
in.
patient.
This Henke, who was put to ground. Tanunda player happy to run the ball over boundary there. So we'll have a boundary throw in outside Newry's attacking 50. But a player I've really been impressed with so far this year, Terence Wilfred, has improved a lot from last season, where he played a lot of reserves and played a few A-grade games as a fringe player. I think he's developed nicely for the Tigers.
I must admit I haven't seen a lot of him, but his pace was electric. I should imagine the one or two kicks we've seen him have, his ball use is as equal up to that game plan.
Yes, he plays very well and doesn't try and do too much. See a little bit of emotion there.
Kirkwood trying to get the young Nuriootpa player off of the ball.
As he drives the ball long down the wing.
It's a 3-on-1 situation back here.
More Newry players there than Tanunda, and that's beautifully weaved through. Lockie Westlake just so calm under pressure.
A little bit of the subsequent kick wasn't to the advantage by young Hepner there. And again, you're talking about Cahoon getting his ball. It's again off half back here, but it's where he can direct traffic and manage the game plan for the players. Fechner with a sidestep over to Doherty, I believe. Or it might be...
This is where Tanunda need to find some clear ball. And intercepted beautifully by Newry. That's Gregurki again, driving forward. Takes a flying shot on goal, but he's offline to the right. But that's him again, reading the play beautifully. Better than anyone else on the field, attacking the contest and just going.
He's been head and shoulders with regards to breaking the lines.
Tanunda now in the back pocket.
Westhoff not his best work again.
But Fechner underran where he wanted to be and was trying to backpedal. Ball comes back. Tanunda trying to get it out by hand. Nuri with a quick kick around the corner.
Very tight and scrappy in there.
A lot of panic back there, but Tanunda are able to just force a ball in. Probably a little lucky there. Westhoff and Fechner just not quite on the same page with that little chip kick.
Ball's been thrown into a good ruck contest. There's a roving maul. And it's been punched through for a behind.
Minor score, but all the play in Nuri's forward line at the moment.
So Westhoff brings it in long, out to the eastern side of the oval. Voigt grabs the ball. Young Biaggi kicks it forward.
He's had a lot of the ball, Benny Biaggi. Been forced to do a lot of work in defence. So we see another boundary throw in, this time on the half forward line for Nuri on the outer wing. Ball tapped backwards. Tanunda player running onto it, but he's taken down in a tackle. Jack Henke now mops up with a quick left-footed kick deep into the forward line. Went over the head of a Tanunda defender, straight into the lap of the Nuri forward leading out.
Looks like young Falland looking to take his shot for goal. He'll be kicking from about 47 or 48 metres.
He should have this in his bag. The wind will be pushing the ball from left to right as he's looking at the goal. Comes in now, left-footed kick, floats a little, and just to the near side. So it's
Bit of a
another
flat
behind.
helicopter punt, that one. Quick ball out. So Dowse is kicking the ball out to a contest. Young Falkenberg's pushed the other ruckman off the ball. However, didn't get down and pick the ball up. Nuri played over the ball, still trying to get the ball out.
Nuri able to work the ball in pairs. Strong tackle on the Tanunda player who picked the ball up there, ridden into the ground. Forcing a ball up.
Contest, the ball hits the ground. The Tanunda player picked the ball up, was immediately tackled by two Nuriootpa players.
I'm seeing a little bit more physical pressure from Nuri this quarter. I think they're the ones bringing the heat.
Scrappy affair. Another ball up called. Fast handball out. Greenslade was tackled, he might say a little bit crudely.
He doesn't have a whistle, so his opinion doesn't really matter. Ball in. Favours the Tanunda ruckman. That handball out. Quick kick forward.
Dowse again with the ball out.
Contest on the wing. Both players went to ground. Ball comes back in.
Westlake's in the centre of the oval.
Taps the ball into the middle of the ground. Finds a teammate. That's Haytner with a long ball into the forward line.
Some desperate work there by the Tanunda player, and they're going to call holding the ball.
He had the ball on the ground, stood up and was tackled. And if you have the prior opportunity, you don't take it, you are in trouble. So Haytner it'll be taking Gregurki taking the shot on goal. Comes in now. Long, low driving kick. And he's offline. That's a very big let off for Tanunda.
He was kicking that directly in front from 25 out. Looked like he was trying to kick it from 400 out.
It did a little bit, didn't it?
It's, yeah, he
Tried
might rue that one as well.
Long ball coming out now.
It's a misfired kick too.
And
BLG with a pick-up and a missed handball. Hopener again, deliver the ball.
That's a beautiful kick. The only player advantaged by that was the Nuri forward, who was under a lot of hate from the defence. And James Bentley, he's a lovely kick on goal. He should be a chance to get this, but I don't want to put the curse on him.
Will this possibly be James Bentley's first touch for the day? I don't think we've even called him.
First clean touch for the day, definitely. Been well defended so far by Matt Westhoff. He's kicked that sensationally straight through the middle, and that's his first of the day. Big country music fan, James Bentley. They say there's something wrong with forwards, and I think that's proof.
As an old full back, I tend to agree with you.
Full forwards not renowned for their thinking. And again, neither are many full backs. As the ball comes back to the middle, as again, only 2 points difference. Nuri 3 goals, 6-24, leading to Tanunda 3-4-22 on the Birds Barossa scoreboard.
Ball's there to be won for Tanunda, but it's been allowed to slip out the back. Fernell takes a good handball out, and we have young Smart at half forward, overkicking the ball, misses his target and Feltus.
Ball coming back in for Nuri now, well defended. Nuri player took the ball and was stripped of it immediately. Then the next Nuri player took it up, and he was taken and stripped of the ball, but Tanunda are able to clear now, coming through Colquhoun on the outer side.
Another missed mark out there. It's an error-riddled game at the moment. It's quite frustrating to watch, I must admit.
It is not the prettiest game we've seen, and probably not what we expected coming into this contest.
Boundary umpire's throw certainly affected by the wind. We've got young Smith to Fechner on the half back line for Tanunda with a handball that puts people straight into both players into danger there.
Ball to a Nuri player there, and drives the ball straight forward, and his teammate was under the hammer right from the word go. Got taken around, the ball spilled out, and we'll now have a ball up in the forward pocket for Nuri.
And James Watt's delivery there into his full forward was pretty sloppy. They had an opportunity inside 50.
That's a massive 25-metre punch forward from the Tanunda ruckman, and it goes straight out of bounds. Be interesting to see they pay that as a free kick. No,
this is Balding. Both rucks again going at it.
Hack out of the pack by Nuri. Goes way up in the air. Comes down to no one's favour. Nuri player able to get a back handball. And that's a powerful tackle from Isaac Feltus. That's what I like about his game. When he hits someone, he hits them hard.
Cole Jenner has a really sharp shot at goal, but it was beautifully defended by
Touched
Smith.
on the line by Smith.
And knocked through.
Now it's Nuri's turn to waste their opportunities.
Well, they're starting to rack them up. West Kirkwood bringing the ball in nice and long. And there was a reasonable push out there, but it was declared a mark. And good delivery from the Nuriootpa player into his forward line.
Yes, strong mark taken. So that leads to another set shot on goal for the Tigers. They've been setting it up reasonably well so far this quarter. This will be about their fourth set shot. And this is James Bentley taking his second set shot for the day. But nothing coming easy.
No, No, again, it's you'd think it'd be raining the way that they're all going about it. And he's missed to the near side. Another long kick into the outside wing to a contest. Seems to be a standard operation at the moment.
Defensive side. See, neither team able to break free at the moment. A lot of handballs putting teammates under pressure. It's going to lead to another stoppage.
Also, doesn't appear to be anybody running past that pack. You know it's going to be forming. You know where it's going to be landing. So why aren't the half forwards, half backs making
Ryan
the way
with a kick out of the ruck.
Westhoff with a very strong mark there.
That was an excellent take. Finds Kirkwood. And that kick really didn't advantage Gers.
No, it set him up.
Grigurki taller and probably heavier. It's a poor kick into the forward line to an outsized forward.
There's calls from the crowd here for holding the ball. I don't know if the lad had much of a chance, but
the crowd always think it's holding the ball.
Everybody does. Rucks again go at it.
Just a little hack kick out of the air in there. Just went straight into someone's belly. No clearance at all from the stoppage. As soon as the player takes the ball, he's wrapped up.
It's an under player with the ruck tap clear, but tapping it straight down to a contest. So there's nowhere to move.
Both teams trying to find a way to get out of this rugby-style stoppage. And it's just a scrum at the moment, not going anywhere.
And it's been called holding the ball.
So we'll see a shot on goal from Nuri. Kyle Jenner, the playing coach, looks to break the stalemate. As we see changes galore at the sideline for Nuri. 3 players off, 3 players on.
One of those new fancied kick around the corner jobbies that didn't work.
And missed. That's kind of embarrassing.
Well, some would have said that at 20 metres out that you could have actually dropped the drop punt through there.
Coming from a league football background, you should be able to do it.
Again, that defensive side, big ruck. There's an attack on the ball.
Comes out the back. There's a Nuri player out there. He's got a Tanunda guy right on his hammer.
He's chosen to tackle the ball,
away.
and he's chosen to take on the tackler.
Should be holding the ball. And how it's not is unbelievable. The umpire was in perfect spot with no one impeding his vision.
One wonders. Nuriootpa handball the ball through.
Mitch Norton with a big clearing kick.
Smith got his hand in the road. But Nuriootpa ball forward. Westhoff into the ruck and
stood under the ball with courage there.
Yep.
Was outnumbered. Had players coming from behind. And that's the sort of courage that you expect from the captain of your footy club.
Absolutely. Goes with a clearing ball out of the half-back line. But a fantastic mark taken there by young Brad Hepner.
Hepner now going forward. No one able to get a clear touch on it.
Big punch by Heinze. Desperate work under the pack there by Heinze.
Some strong tackling taking place. And while we've got a stoppage, I've got a score from South Gawler. South Gawler 3 goal 4-22, leading Williston 1 goal to 8. That's the grand final rematch taking place at South Gawler.
There's a bevy of handballs happening here in the forward line for Nuriootpa. It looks like young Kai Rosenzweig has kicked one out of the impossible pocket.
Yes, Kai Rosenzweig, just something out of nothing, and that's what Nuri needed. They needed reward for the effort they were putting in. That's another goal for Ray White Craigmore. Takes Nuri to 4-goal 8-32 to Nuri's 3-goal 4-22 on the Birds Barossa scoreboard, Dan.
Indeed, Kai has kicked 2 goals, so it's 2 fairly opportunistic goals.
His dad liked a goal or 2 as well, Marty.
Indeed.
But that's Nuri desperately need to get value for the amount of energy they're putting in.
Tanunda have
clear
got a
handball out there
clearance.
for Tanunda.
There's a felled after the ball.
The Tanunda player was pulled down from the contest there, and he receives a free kick for it. That's absolutely correct.
Indeed. It'll be young Todd Falkenberg going back for a shot on goal. He'll be 30 metres out with a slight angle.
Coming in now. Looked good off the boot. But straight
Absolutely
across.
missed it.
Didn't even make the distance. That's a very much a
BLG
ruckman's
having a
kick.
shot on goal from the pocket.
Oh, that's a very
defensive
courageous mark taken there. That's probably the play of the day so far. I'd say that's the best thing we've seen in the game.
Long kick out of defence to a big pack again.
And Sam Schmal on the last
Quick kick
line.
on Fechner. Great pick up there by Fechner with a quick handball to Doherty in the middle. But he's chosen to take on the tackler again.
And the free kick has been paid
Right in the
correctly.
centre circle. And now he's paid a 25-metre penalty.
Yes. But going back to that mark from Schmal, that was sensational. But very much a traditional ruckman's kick from young Falkenberg. I know a few Falkenbergs ruckmen that have kicked like that.
That decision in the centre there with the holding the ball decision.
It's a very long shot on goal. He had the distance easily, but just offline.
Bit of inconsistency there.
But that's the way the decision should be paid.
Absolutely, totally agree.
The earlier was it was a mistake on the umpire's behalf, but that one there is what we need to see in the game. The 25-metre penalty we can't assess because we weren't out there to hear what was said.
No, indeed, and that's just that comes through.
Discipline is a big part of football.
So the good mark by Felders has all been undone by some good defensive work here by Nuriootpa, and a long kick in again.
That was Nick Madden driving the ball deep into the Nuri forward line.
And it'll be young Henke that's...
young Jack Henke with his second goal of the day. He needs to do more of that, and that's his role in the team. He's starting to grow into that. He's only a young player in his late teens.
But it started with his bustling work off the ball. He was at the fall of the ball, leaving behind the Tanunda player.
Wow, his cricket teammates are going to love the fact that you described him as bustling. So that's another goal for Ray White Craigmore. It takes Nuri to 5-goal 9-39 to Tanunda 3-goal 4-22 on the Birds Barossa scoreboard. As we see, Nuri starting to get value for their forward entries. Ryan really made sure that was in Nuri's favour, that contest. Handball comes down to a player directly on his knees, unfortunately.
We're not a lot of value at the moment with some of the centre work that Tanunda's managing.
Voigt with a double tap there. Comes out to Gurki, who drives the ball forward with a hack kick. No one able to get a clear possession. As we'll see a ball up onto Nuri's forward 50-metre line.
Big hit forward by the Tanunda Ruckman. Hokeless and Matthews out there, the two number 2s going at it.
That's the great Nick Matthews.
Great.
Yes.
How great?
Just ask him.
Quick kick out by Nuriootpa, and it's
Mark Gurkey. Probably would have been about an 18-metre kick, if that. And he'd be taking a shot from just outside 50. The length isn't an issue, as we've seen so far today. Accuracy is the big question.
Indeed.
Got to read the wind correctly here. He now looks good off the boot. And just didn't quite make the distance.
Run through for a behind.
As we see the Nuri interchange working overtime again with a double swap there. Matt Westhoff picked the ball up with one hand, tried to fend with the other, but still able to get it away.
Douse has been tackled with the ball. Too slow and no left foot.
Left feet are overrated.
You fall over if you don't have one.
See the ball come to ground. We'll have a ball up probably 35, 40 metres from Nuri's goal in the opposite pocket.
It's been pretty well camped there for a while now.
Our cameraman hasn't had to move the camera a lot this quarter, which I think he's pretty happy about.
The unfortunate part, we haven't had to call the sponsors too often either. But
and currently nearly 26 minutes into the second quarter on the Ray White Craigmore time clock.
Henke with another shot.
Flying shot on goal, just goes across. Oh. No, he's got that through. That is a beautiful goal from that pocket on the left foot. That's his third for the day. Little squeaker coming through big time for the Tigers.
He does tend to run a bit faster than his father.
There's so many things I could say there. I'm going to let it go, just for once. His father's a lovely fella. I'm not going to do that
Yes, I played football with him.
Rick's not that old, is he?
Steady on, Tiger. He's older than me.
I didn't think there was anyone older than you.
Back into the middle. Two ruckmen go at it. It's about time Tanunda actually showed something here and pushed the ball forward. Some good work there by Voigt.
Nice kick out into space.
The ball has
collected
dodged
beautifully for Nuri. That was a great take by Kyle Jenner off the ground. Drives the ball forward.
And Kai Rosenzweig drives it in.
Well defended by Tanunda.
And we've got a ball up in Nuriootpa's half forward line.
As we hit half-time here at Tanunda Oval in the game of the day, we'll take a quick break and we'll see you for the start of the third quarter.
Indeed.
On the Barossa Auto scoreboard. The rebounds are made sponsored for 22. The clubhouse.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching here. The Barossa Light and Gawler Football Association, brought to you by Grant Burge Wines.
And scores from around the grounds currently at Kapunda 49 points, Gawler Central 54 is the half-time score.
That's a closey.
So a real close game, and I was expecting that to be quite a contest. And at South Gawler, the grand final replay is really starting to heat up. At half-time, Williston 4-4, 28, trailing South Gawler 4-7, 31.
Bit different to the half-time score at the grand final.
A little bit different. South Gawler started playing in the first half this time.
But we're back here at Tanunda Oval. The umpires are calling for the players to take their positions, and we get the little kids off the ground. Great to see families having a kick and a catch.
It is. That's why we come to community football.
Fantastic. And we're back here, and Tanunda trailing Nuriootpa 3-4-22 to 6-11-47 on the Grant Burge Wines scoreboard.
And I'm expecting this game to open up a little in this half. A lot of physical, tight, in close stuff. The players are going to be a little bit tired after that first half. Would have taken a fair bit out of them, I think.
I'd like to think that there's going to be a bit of a change in the game plan from a few people. Looks like we've got a bit of an issue with the umpires at the moment, actually. I don't know what is going on. Timekeepers, or hopefully we don't have a... There is a function downstairs, I believe, and we may or may not have an issue with the timekeepers imbibing or enjoying the half-time
possibly
festivities.
Have been caught with another duty and weren't able to get out on time, so we've got a water boy has taken the role as timekeeper, and he will start the game for us.
Well, that's good, as long as he keeps the time and they know what they're doing. But,
volunteer-driven organisations, footy clubs, and we will wear little mishaps like that.
Absolutely.
To keep the tradition.
The ball goes up in the middle. Voigt versus Fernell, and Fernell's jumped straight over top of him. There was an absolute shocking tackle miss there.
Nuri with a
Gurgurki
out, handball off.
Henke
going for goal number 4. He's missed
everything.
That's a wasted opportunity for the little fella. He will be very unhappy about that.
And we did speak about Henke and his lineage. I did catch up with his father, and he agreed that the young fella does run a hell of a lot faster than he does. Or did.
Beautiful take in the middle of the ground there by the Nuri ruckman. Good little chip kick. Finds a player, maybe 40 metres from goal.
I think that's James Watt that has the ball. Let's take a shot on goal. It looks like Tanunda just left themselves in the change rooms there.
A little bit of a slow start.
The ball coming in and off to the far side there for
another let off for Tanunda, who will be breathing a little easier after that. That could have been 2 goals straight down their throat in the start of the third quarter.
18 shots at goal to 7 tells the tale of the tape at the moment, though, and probably just lucky for the bad kicking.
Absolutely. Tanunda just not quite humming at the moment. Looking to bring the ball in now. Coming to this near side. So that's a change in strategy. They're coming to the attacking side now.
Westlake grab the ball there. Nobody can get a handle on it. Neat handball out.
Nuri able to get the hand on the ball. Strong mark taken in defence there.
That's Douse.
Douse has been fantastic
back out to the attacking side. Young Westlake there. He's stopped and propped. He stopped and propped, took the ball, and the ruckman tackled him. But it's been declared a no contest there, so it's going to be a ball up.
No prior opportunity, but yes, Tanunda bring the ball to this attacking side now. That's a clear change in strategy. I think they want to take the game on and win it rather than defend it. As the Tanunda Football Club have come to the party with some treats for us, Dan.
Fantastic work there from the Tanunda Football Club.
Now
we
we'll have
certainly
to
appreciate
work
that.
as a team to try and enjoy them. Ball forward,
Hepner
deep for
there,
Nuri.
deep. Big kick in.
Comes off hands. Westhoff tried to keep it in, but rushes it through for a behind.
Matthew Westhoff bringing the ball in. He's found Ben Biaggi on his knees 40 metres out from his own goal. So it's about slow and methodical movement, but we don't seem to be seeing any sort of real effort there. Doherty takes a very good mark there on the half-back flank, but he's got to use it, and there's no options going forward. He's very stagnant in the half-forward line. Smith offers up an option, and he's pushing it forward and then straight through to Calhoun, who takes off, and on his right foot drives it long into Smith at the full forward line, but he's left with nobody to help. There's a rolling tackle. The halfback flanker from Nuriootpa took the ball clean, and that was young Cooper Koleski. Ruck contest clean out the back, a neat little tap on by the Nuri player, but a missed ball. The big fella Voigt, one-handed pick-up. A clever little kick by BLG to Isaac Feltus, who will have a shot on goal at this stage from about 48 metres out. He's playing on, and he's having a shot himself. He's put it long into a contest as a marks up. No result there except it rolls through for a behind for Tanunda.
Another wasted opportunity for the Magpies. As Nurio bring the ball back in, they're going to use the defensive side, I believe. That's where they're looking. And they do so. Still playing smart football. So we see a stoppage form. And we'll have a ball up on the half-forward line for Tanunda on the outer side. Neither ruckman able to engage that contest at all. They were just too busy with each other. And we'll have another ball up. Furnell able to get that ball down. Tanunda with a flying shot on goal. Hits the post. Near the top of the post. Nuri will now look to bring the ball in. Chance to move it quickly, and they do so out to this attacking side. More Tanunda players in the area. They'll move the ball back. Quick little chip kick. Finds a player in the forward pocket on a tight angle. That was Smith now taking a shot, but it was Biaggi with a neat little chip kick. Benny Biaggi, one of the better performers for the Magpies today. Been really impressive coming out of the back line, but they're delivering the ball into the forward line. I think he needs to come into the game a little bit more in this second half. He's been fantastic down back. They need to inject him into the middle to become creative.
Smith's shot on goal goes across the face, and an uncontested mark back there.
And you cannot have an uncontested mark in your forward line. That's unforgivable.
Zane Kirkwood's cut the exiting shot off. It's not within his kicking range, I don't believe. But he's looked at an option, and he's got Brett Dowse at 48 metres, who definitely has the capacity to kick this goal.
But again, we've seen some sloppy kicking today. If he can kick this accurately, Tanunda desperately need a goal to stay in touch and to reinvigorate themselves.
Without a doubt. He makes the good connection with the ball, and he's hit the other post. These are the fattest posts we've ever had at Tanunda. I'll let you know. As a former president, we tried to make him skinnier, but there's nothing much we can do about that. It's ridiculous how many times we've hit them today. But there's some good considered movement of the ball out of the back line by Nuriootpa. Young Henke's got it, deep half-back flank, in front of the Kegel Club. And good use of the ball. Watt moves the ball across the half-forward line. Terence Wilfred there with some good work. Sam Calhoun. Handball to... it's been cut off. They're going to have a shot on goal, Nuriootpa, and they've got players free all over the place here. Sam Falland snapping. Probably should have made the most of that. Really, that was a poorly worked forward movement. Some might consider that a little bit of overconfidence going in there. Westhoff to kick it out from full back. He's playing on fast and he's going long. This is an 80-metre move. And it's
A strong mark from
Ben.
Hackner.
Bradley's always been a physical player.
He's a class act. He's going to drive the ball back now.
Gers spoils. They hit the pack running. And it's been taken out of bounds.
Tanunda need to do something here to change the momentum. I'm going to suggest something out of the box here. Douse and BLG have been fantastic across half-back. I think they need to go onto the footy and just create something.
Yeah, there's pace there and there's smarts. So, but it does seem like there's something missing. Great
Aaron
move there.
Faulkner with a great spin out of trouble in the middle. Onto the left foot.
Bailey
Nearly found a
Bailey
teammate.
Smith has been crunched there.
Taken
He's
high.
down.
Got to cop the knee in the head.
There's a hack ball forward. And Matthew
Westhoff with a
Westhoff.
beautiful mark. Reads the ball beautifully behind his
Long
opponent.
kick down to Sam Calhoun, who is out in his own again. And he's delivered into
And that's
Aaron Norton in
Mitch
centre
Norton.
forward. Mitch Norton.
That is the tale of Tanunda's day, and it's even worse that it's the playing coach, Colhoun, who's the best kick in the team that did it.
Yeah. No, that was not good at all. Aaron Norton, you'd love to have him run around for you, wouldn't you?
I'd even like to have Allen. I don't think Allen would be doing much running these days.
His knees are as good as mine, mate. Cahoon turns around and he delivers back in to a contest. Again, we continue to see that Tanunda are pushing the ball into 3 and 4 people.
Heavily
at a contest.
contested forward line. So they need to generate some run through the middle of the ground.
Ball to a contest, a big mark taken there.
Handball's
young
up from
Fallon.
Nuri, and that's a terrible kick going
See the old
forward.
chaos ball.
And it's actually working.
it's
Yuri's
working.
favour. It's come across to Henke.
That would be Jack Henke again for goal number 4.
Number 4, Jack Henke, absolutely tearing this game a new one. He's the freak of squeak.
He's being provided the opportunity by the defence not sticking with him. He's allowed room, and if you've got, he's a pocket. Where's his opposite pocket? Where's his bloke following him?
And
It's
the
the
Tanunda
free
defenders
ball.
are playing risky. They're trying to play off their forwards and create because there's nothing else happening through the middle of the ground.
And Europe has worked it out, and they're chaos balling into the joint, and off you go. Goals.
And the players that we were talking about before with speed and creativity, BRG and Douse, are playing in the back line for exactly that reason. They can't do both.
Exactly. Furnell's out jumping Voigt clearly.
Big difference in age. Strong tackle in the middle of the ground. Comes out to Wilfred. Big left foot kick.
Man in front.
Bounces off the chest of the Nuri
chest.
player in front.
That would be a tackle by the ankle.
And
And-
free kick to Tanunda.
Benson Heinz, he gives off the ball to Brett Douse coming off half-back flank. Long kick. And he's found Jackson Doherty, who has been spoiled. Oh, no, they called it a free kick with high contact.
So Tanunda will be able to move the ball forward now. This is where they've been falling down all day, Dan. They need to find a target forward.
It's not going to be there.
Only player that went for that was a Nuri player in defence.
Hack kick off the ground. And young Parker sees it across the line. Last touch, free kick. Seems to be a lot of pointing and waving, but not a lot of doing at the moment from Tanunda. Ball off the side of the shoe. Doherty's fighting to pick up the ball. He's been wrapped up, and on the back end of the Barossa Kegel Club, the only fully operational traditional Kegel club in Australia, is is a ball up by the umpire.
And I've been waiting for something really smooth to happen in this game. There hasn't been much opportunity.
Hack ball into the forward line again, asking questions of the forwards. It's a clever handball by BLG and a snap by Smith that has seen the ball off the outside of his boot go through for a goal.
That handball by Benny BLG is as smooth as the Ben Murray Shiraz I was drinking last night.
Oh, fantastic stuff, that. Looking at the replay here, the ball comes in. Again, chaos ball. Fantastic handball, very quick. Two blokes whack into BLG and Smith out in his own, and he's able to take care of that.
And that's what I mentioned earlier. We need someone like a Ben BLG to go forward and to create some spark. That's exactly why he needs to move out of the defensive area and take the game on for the Tanunda. Ball forward now, and that's a beautiful mark taken there. Really strong. Billy Nichols, one of the veterans in the Newry side, and he chips the ball forward and finds James Bentley. Bentley will be taking a shot on goal from, he'll be kicking from near on 50 metres. It's going to be a really interesting kick for a right footer. He's going to have to hang the ball out almost to the point post. As we see a ball up now on the near side centre wing. Bart Ryan with a great back fist. Newry unable to clear it there. Great kick around the corner for Tanunda.
Kirkwood and a fantastic mark there.
Diving mark in the forward line.
Yeah, that's Johnny Greenslade that's taken a fantastic mark there.
Greenslade, who I was just thinking we haven't seen enough of today. He just pops up at the right time.
I think he's struggling with a little bit of injury. He was doing a bit of walking on the bit of couple of run-throughs on the boundary line. But yeah, sorry for the radio silence, folks. We had a little tornado roll through here, knock a few things off, and I had to try and shove a bit of food in my mouth. John Greenslade with a beautiful, beautiful kick.
Just
straight
clears
through.
the man on the line. That's a goal, another goal for Ray White Craigmore.
So Tanunda's kicked the last two and takes the score on the Grant Birchwine scoreboard to 5-7-37, trailing Nuriootpa 7-14-56. But at 19 points, we're starting to see that there's a bit of activity going on. But not to forget that looking at that shot of Bentley, the Satterley is playing havoc with the kicking.
It is, and it is definitely favouring to the left of your screen as you are watching.
Absolutely.
And we're currently 17 minutes in on the Ray White Craigmore time clock. As we see, beautiful ball there, just straight out, and a quick goal for Tanunda. That's exactly what they needed, and that brings them right back into this contest. Tanunda 6-7-43, trailing Newry 7-14-56. So a 13-point deficit on the Barossa scoreboard, and Tanunda right back in this contest.
Absolutely. Young Parker coming off of the wing or half forward, wherever he's playing there, just busted the pack and roved it really well.
That's what we need. Tanunda they've signed some big names and they've been playing hard around the footy, a lot of contested football. But we need some of these kids to start coming in, bringing some energy and some excitement. That's exactly what we had from Parker right there and BRG in the last few minutes.
Ball goes up. She's starting to get a bit dark here. Got big Todd Falkenberg in the ruck finally. And but there needs to be follow-up there. The Nuriootpa boys were able to get the ball straight out. There's a hospital ball. Aaron Fechner flies. Sam Cahoon does some dancing, gets past. And Zane Kirkwood, long handball out to Cahoon again. Gets a good shepherd. But
has to handball
to no one.
In trouble. So that'll be a free kick for Nuri.
Young Terrence is going to push the ball in nice.
So he's going to have to find a target here.
It's a long kick inside, attacking 50. Griffiths takes the ball and was immediately tackled.
Real defensive pressure here. Got a ball up about 25 metres directly in front of Nuri's goal. And yes, the clouds really starting to roll in here at Tanunda. Getting a little dark, a little cold, but still beautiful conditions for football.
It's absolutely perfect seeing conditions for footy. Just need to make the most of these opportunities. And
Nuri. And beautiful tackle there, wraps Tanunda player up, takes him straight to ground. It was Kirkwood grabbing the ball and he was wrapped up immediately. Nuri not giving him an inch to work with.
Griffiths again getting the ball and being tackled immediately. I think a lack of pace hitting the ball. I'm just saying that a lot of blokes waiting to be tackled.
Standing still when the ball comes to them.
Falkenberg wins the tap again. Quick kick out of the pack, and it hits the post.
A goal there would have really been against the tide and would have really shaken things up.
Kirkwood runs out and it comes attacking side.
It's a beautiful drop punt kick. That's what the art of kicking the footy is all about.
The two ruckmen looked at each other then. There's been a hack kick around the corner.
Forward.
Kirkwood again.
Beautiful evasion. Another drop punt coming out.
Good defensive.
Punch to the wing. And we'll see a boundary throw in here on the halfback flank for Tanunda.
Again, we're seeing Norton there just working right up.
Mitch Norton has really developed into the role of centre halfback in the last 6 months perfectly.
Very solid player.
Literally. Parker with the ball there.
BRG delivering to his forwards. And unfortunately, Norton's kicked it off of the shin over the line. So Smith takes
kicks it in long.
Smith takes the bit of evasive action as well. And we've got Greenslade taking a shot.
A flying shot, unfortunately out on the full, but at least there was a bit of movement there for Tanunda.
Yeah, God forgive. It's been like watching the tide.
Yes, there's been nothing smooth about this game, unfortunately. I see Nuri now looking to clear the ball from their defensive area. And they're going to use the defensive side. I think they know they're not going to risk the game breaking open.
That inside handball seems to be very prevalent in the game plan, and they've got the guys that running through the middle.
As it comes through now, that's a beautiful mark under pressure. Quick handball to Wilfred. And he takes the handball over the top.
Rosenzweig goes in.
Kai Rosenzweig with a running goal, dribbles it through. That is beautiful teamwork. Wilfred could have easily taken a shot on the left there. There was no pressure, but decided I'm going to make that extra handball and make sure of it. That is selfless football. That's beautiful.
But again, as we look at it, the quick handball out of the pack at half back, inside
to a running
somebody
player.
Running.
And Tanunda have no run.
Have had no run off of half back all day. None whatsoever. And the two guys that we've spoken about heavily in Biaggi and Douse are trying to run through the wing as well and trying to run through the half forward. There's some gaps there where
other players
not
need to step up.
Exactly.
And that's a game plan thing rather than a talent thing.
No, totally.
And
Voigt wins the tap.
Nuri
Too
are
caring.
engaging that game plan much better.
They're playing to their strengths.
Correct. They have that run that players train for. When you have a training drill and you have players running in waves and handballing, that's exactly what you're training for.
Voigt, great tap out to Zane Kirkwood, who was tackled without the ball, and he's been given a free kick.
This is going to be an opportunity for Tanunda now. Really good kick coming into the forward line. Goes to a big pack. Nuri player pushed out at the front. Going to have a stoppage now. 30 metres directly in front of Tanunda's goal.
There's some issues with Tanunda's deep forward. It's not working.
No.
Two and three of their own going up for the same ball. It's absolutely not working. And it means that there's nobody on the ground that are taking the advantage of when the ball hits the ground.
There are no small forwards that look dangerous up there.
Well,
Benny Biaggi in the last few years has been a dangerous small forward. But he's now playing in the back line, and he's playing very well back there, but there's no one taking his place.
No, indeed. Voigt wins the tap out the back. Young Parker running past has delivered the ball out to Smith. Smith, it's on the bounce.
It's bounced in front of him,
and he's been tackled immediately.
And yeah, no opportunity to get rid of the ball as big Mitch Norton there playing beautifully in defence, belying his size and being very quick.
Trent Gers wins the ruck tap.
Comes down for Nuri.
But
it's going to be a free kick paid.
Cooper Koleski there lifting the elbow as he was coming through. Bit of a high fend, I think.
He's done a Dan Eggleton.
Settle down, Teeks.
It was the old Cambrai special, wasn't it?
Depends who I was playing for. Long ball in by Biaggi and a big mark attempt there by Smith, and it looks like it's going to get bashed over the line, but no, it's been stopped, and we're
going to have a ball up
in the
on the point line. And there are no Tanunda players making themselves dangerous. Someone now runs to the spot about 20 metres out, but there's no one running through.
Greenslade, outstanding tackle there on the player carrying the ball out, and unrewarded.
This is where you need a player running around the contest, probably 10, 15 metres clear of it, and a hook towards the goal. These players are all drawn to the football like moths to a flame.
So we're deep into the third quarter here.
At least 26 minutes into the third quarter on the Ray White Craig Moore time clock. We're going to have another ball up.
We're still
20
deep in
that
points.
forward pocket. Neither team willing to give any ground. That kick out on the full.
Prove interesting. This is young Biaggi's going to have the kick, I believe. Is a right footer. Very clever.
Clever and electric footballer.
And
nothing like his father.
He's asking about the player there. Standing close. He's going to be trying to hit it on the... looks like he's hit the belly of the ball.
Gone straight across.
Straight through Bailey Smith's hands.
And touched over the boundary. But directly from a Nuri player, a Tanunda player, so it'll be a Nuri kick in. Tigers looking to clear the ball late in the dying minutes of the third quarter, at least 27
long kick
minutes
out to
into
the back
third.
line. Good mark there taking, and they're calling the Nuriootpa players, just telling everybody to slow down a bit. It's late in the quarter. Kai Rosenzweig with the ball.
Smart football from Nuri.
Just shut down football at the moment. The breeze has definitely dropped off, as it does here late in the afternoon.
And a big, strong mark taken in that contest by the Nuri player.
Will Nichols.
Billy Nichols.
18, 19. Tom Giles, that one.
Tom Giles, the president's son.
There's been...
has been really impressive the last year or so.
Been given a 25-metre penalty for something.
Has to be some sort of verbal dissent.
You'd want to be able to play with those boots, wouldn't you?
And
Big
a
Henry boy.
beautiful mark taken in defence there for Tanunda. That's something that I love seeing, is a defender backing themselves to take a mark rather than just punching.
This is the ruckman getting back to help defence, which is really important.
It's at least 25% of their job. Ball comes
Well
forward
read.
to the middle of the ground.
Well read by Smith.
And
the
beautifully
ball's been-
taken by the Nuri player.
It's Rosenzweig.
Rosenzweig has been sensational today, but unfortunately mark taken there for Tanunda. Brings the ball out to this side as the siren goes to finish the third quarter. As we see on the Birds Barossa scoreboard, Nuri 8 goal 15 63, leading Tanunda 6 goal 7 43. A 20-point margin at three-quarter time, and we'll leave you for a couple of minutes and rejoin you for the fourth quarter shortly.
All teams are broken there from their three-quarter time addresses. We've taken notice that the Nuriootpa team was a lot closer and a lot more vocal.
A lot of passion in that huddle. I liked it.
The coaches really got into them.
A quick score update from South Gawler, the grand final replay. Williston 6-goal 8-44, trailing South Gawler 7-goal 11-53. So it's going to be a ding-dong last quarter down there at the Lions Den.
Absolutely.
Set up for a really good last quarter here at Tanunda. Quick
goes
ball out of the
forward.
middle.
Can Tanunda pull something out? They're going to have to do something pretty special, I think. That was a pretty fancy move. Young Hokeless on a flying shot
on the
at
outside
goal.
of his boot.
And that is the best start for a third quarter that you will find.
4.
Absolutely fantastic there by
That
young
was
Josh
a
Hokeless.
beautiful, actually running through the 50-metre line. Imagine that. It's what we haven't seen all day from Tanunda.
It's fantastic. There's no reason why it couldn't happen. It's perfect conditions for football. And I think at three-quarter time you and I were calling for it, and it has happened. Trent Gers is in the middle.
That's what I want to see. He's got upper body strength. He
Number
does a lot of
26,
boxing,
wearing
a
the
lot of boxing training.
the
He's
great-
got upper body strength,
The great Tom Schiller's jumper.
and that's a huge weight on those shoulders.
I think he's
Start
up for
with.
it.
I think he's up for it, and I think he is the player who could stand up for the Pies.
Todd Falkenberg goes against Fernell and wins again. There is a block. How was that? Anyway,
Free kick paid to Nuri, so Gregurki will drive the ball long with the wind. Everyone goes under the footy. Comes down to a Nuri player who is slammed to the deck straight away.
Slick handball out. There's a snap on goal.
And
There's the
that's
reply.
Beautiful goal. Quick reply there for Nuri. Scott Bentley, the captain of the Tigers. That's a really slick reply and exactly what they needed. So we still have a 20-point margin on the Birds Barossa scoreboard here. And that's 2 goals kicked very quickly, and we're only 2 minutes in on the Ray White Craigmore time clock.
So we're back into the middle. Ball goes up. The two big men go at it hard. Well, hardish. There's a play for a free kick there that
Hardish,
didn't
who
work.
does he play for?
Hardish, never played with me, mate. I can tell that right now. So there's
That's
fair
a
bit of run off the
good
half
kick out
back
of
line.
defence for Nuri.
And that's a good mark by Matt Westhoff. Oh, he dropped it. I thought he would have taken that.
Cade Rawlack
And-
with a really nice left foot kick out of defence.
As young Griffiths
beautiful
just
tackle.
sold the 2-time McGarry medalist Kirkwood into all sorts of trouble then. And he was tackled by young Kai Rosenzweig, who is running above the ground
Kai
after he 3
Rosenzweig
goals.
has got to be in the contenders for BOG at the moment. He has been sensational. A really good
some
kick.
really-
Found a teammate.
Really poor discipline there by the Tanunda backman, who dragged down young Bentley, and he's been given a 25-metre penalty.
James Bentley, who would have been a real chance to kick the goal from the spot where he marked it, but from the 25-metre penalty, he will
Mark
be
was
a guarantee.
taken, and then just a silly move
Slung
just to
it. That's
drag him on the
frustration.
ground, and it's ridiculous.
That's the frustration that you tend to display when you're 20 goals down, not when you're within 20 points.
Well, that's two goals very quickly to Nuriootpa that
That's poor.
comes down to a lack of discipline, lack of focus. The first goal was fantastic, and it displayed everything that Tanunda was aiming to do. But to come out and allow that to happen for the next 2 goals is, to be honest, it's unforgivable.
And another goal for Ray White Craigmore on our Birds Barossa scoreboard. It's great to see good sponsors jumping on board, and Joe Cirillo from Ray White Craigmore has been fantastic for the streaming this year.
Fantastic. Great to have that support.
Great community football people too. It's a family-run business, but he's heavily involved with the Williston Football Club. He runs water most weeks. His sons have played footy. Loves the game. Passionate man.
God bless
it,
country
ball up.
footy.
Newry seem to be the team surging forward at this stage, as they do.
Absolutely.
Quick kick forward there, high up in the air. Terrence Wilfred couldn't quite get to it. You see a Newry player grab the ball, and as soon as he takes it, he is taking the ground.
Sam Schmar was not going to have any other result other than being wrapped up by Benson Heinze there.
Heinze's been quite good in the second half, physically. Having to use a lot of his physical strength, tackling rather than creating.
Something tells me the dam walls are about to break here. Just got that feeling.
Kick around the corner. Regis is a minor score for Nuri, but they are pushing and pushing, and that dam wall, I think there are little cracks starting to appear, and they're getting bigger by the second.
Absolutely. Griffiths takes the ball in the back pocket. What's he going to do with it here? If you want to win the game, you've got to attack.
The middle.
It's a long kick out to the halfback flank to a big contest. Who's taken that mark? Nick Matthews.
The great Nick Matthews, thank you.
The great Nick Matthews, apparently.
Yes.
Still yet to... We've only called him twice today, so we'll reserve
but
judgment
whatever
on that.
He has done has been great.
Oh, that wasn't great because he kicked it straight to Brett Dowse of Tanunda. Brett Dowse kicks it out to Josh Oakless. Josh Oakless, who can get on his bike and run. Unfortunately, probably should have taken a few more steps because he's kicked it to a paddock where a young Nuriootpa player was taking on an older Tanunda player. And
young Cade Rawlack with a bit of run.
That's it, and the ball has been taken out of bounds.
I believe he's the son of Brad Rawlack, a Nuri Premiership player from that great era.
Got a bit of an issue here. Looks like the man we were talking highly of.
Oh, Trent Gers. Jogging awkwardly to the boundary.
Which appears to be a familiar problem with possibly a hamstring.
And that hurts Tanunda badly.
Yeah. For all of the effort that he puts in.
And Will Parker coming on. Parker's been impressive at times.
Absolutely.
But he's going to need to really pull something special out here. As we see another strong tackle, and we'll have another ball up 50 metres from Nuri's goal. Tap forward, comes to a Nuri player, but he's taken down straight away in a powerful tackle.
Yeah, young Hokeless there, just laying a really nice tackle. Comes from a long line of players here at Tanunda.
And every one of them nuggety.
Yeah, this
Is
last
that a
generation.
fair call?
Yeah, his father could run a bit. I played a bit of footy with his father, but he and his brothers are all district, if not national level runners. They're just wiry and whippy.
Yes, but also with their lifestyle working in the wine industry, very strong.
Very strong. The
the
shot on goal there was
shot on goal.
Just touched for a point.
But yes, the Hokeless family, very strong. And very strong club people here for
Absolutely.
Tanunda.
Still sitting on committees.
Underpinning.
That is a fantastic mark by young Falkenberg there for Tanunda.
And he kicks forward now.
Going for Smith. The ball just absolutely pinged on the end of its aperture.
Through the middle of the ground.
And went backwards.
That ball going long and forward.
Heinze again with the spoil. Jack Henke has been
tackled Jack
absolutely
Henke massively.
Eaten up.
Piled him into the ground. Heinze saved a possible goal there for Nuri. If Henke had been clear, the handball would have been to a player running at goal.
Without a doubt. Umpires quickly called a ball up. We're looking at 14 shots to goal to 27. Nuriootpa should be far more advanced in their lead.
They should be, but Tanunda should have also had more goals for their shots on goal as well, as we saw in the first half.
Without a doubt. Again, we continue to talk about it. It's a game riddled with errors. You would think it had been running.
Don't say rain. Our camera guy's quite comfortable at the moment. If you say rain, he'll pack up.
And I've finished picking grapes, so it can rain all it likes now. I'm quite happy with that.
Don't be selfish.
Well, those people in New South Wales are getting plenty. Queensland are getting plenty.
Yes.
I'm happy to take a bit down here.
There's a lot happening in New South Wales. Players getting reported, red carded, all sorts of things.
There's a bit of a scrap here on the halfback flank. There's a high kick by Calhoun. Ball goes up.
Bound.
Some physical effort there. There's been a body and a hip and Couple of blokes come off second best there. Attack on the ball, that's what we'd like to see.
There's been no shortage of attack on the footy today. There's been a lot of courageous football played. As that handball inboard gives Tanunda a chance to break three through the middle of the ground.
Is it going to keep
It's
running?
clean bowls everyone. And Nuri player running
Cooper
with it.
Koleski, back from Central Districts, not playing there anymore.
Chip kick out, finds a player.
And Cade Rawlack there, using the ball in the middle. Terence Wilfred.
Wilfred, impressive. He's been good all day. Calls a player to come towards him. Kicks left foot deep into the forward line on an early fly from the Nuri player. Didn't
And
make it.
Yeah, so the early unrealistic call wasn't paid.
That's something that I thought might have cost Nuri, but the mark has been paid, and James Bentley, the key forward for the Tigers, will be having a shot on
There's
goal.
only slack on messages says, come on, Tiggers.
And he needs to calm down just a little bit. It's not Port Adelaide. It's not that important. We love you, Annie. Thanks for watching.
We've seen Trent Gers take the field again, which is good. So we may have been talking about cramp, but
Bentley comes in.
and he's slotted a neat goal.
Just drives it through beautifully, which is what he does, and does very well. And yes, especially love to thank people like Annie who are watching and giving us
everybody.
some feedback on the game.
Indeed.
Annie's a great football fan. She was a trainer for Nuri for many, many years.
Lots of those deep leg rubs.
Yes, she's very passionate and great club person, so we show a lot of respect to the people like Annie. They are what make country football what it is.
Indeed. Ball goes up again. Falkenberg wins the tap. But absolutely no follow-up there from the Tanunda players in the middle.
No.
And a lot of walking.
And ball into the Nuri forward line.
And a free kick given. We're still trying to work out what for, but
Nuri player went for the ball on the ground and Tanunda player fell into his back.
fell into his back.
Yes,
Okay.
fell into his back. Fairly
My eyes
simple
aren't
free
there.
kick.
Have a look at the
I'm letting you watch the replay on my iPad.
shepherded the ball.
There it is.
Well, yeah, I'll disagree with you on that one, but I would have called protecting the ball unnecessarily. But anyway, the young
Is that a
Nuri?
rule?
Nuri player. No, it's then called holding the ball.
Tanunda kick the ball out of defence quickly.
Straight back to
Straight
whence
to a
it
Nuri
came.
player. Quick handball off. Finds
Kai
the-
Rosenzweig on the outside of his boot.
And a miss. Probably one he could have taken a little bit more time with, but youthful exuberance. He's having a fantastic game. Probably his best game ever of his senior career. And really just bubbling at the moment. See the ball now being just pounded back in. Nuri are relentless at the moment, just pounding the ball in. Tanunda haven't been forward in this final quarter. Dan, you're a proud Tanunda man, but the Magpies have given us donuts in the fourth.
We did kick the first goal of the quarter.
Oh, yes, they did. It's a long time ago. I forgot that. My apology.
You're from Angaston, I'll forgive you.
That means I'm neutral. Except that I like giving you a hard time.
Nice delivery to Felders out in the half-back flank.
Well,
Felders
a
who we
dozen
haven't
bottles
seen.
of Shiraz at my doorstep next week will make me like you a lot more.
Good movement down the wing by Tanunda. Cahoon into Smith in the forward line. And Smith goes to ground far too easily. And it's going to be thrown in. with
Ball
Voigt
in
to take the-
Tanunda's forward line. Tanunda with a rare forward entry. They need to make the most of this. The game is just about out of reach, but it's not impossible.
I think she's
We are almost 15 minutes into the fourth quarter, so we've got at least 10 to 13 minutes left. There is some time. Miracles do happen, apparently.
I love your optimism. I haven't seen anything that will provide me with any comfort or.
I respect that, but as a football fan, when my team's been down, I've always dreamt. And dreaming that your team can come good is a big part of what we do every Saturday, every year.
That's why we show up for 30
Even
and
when your
40
team
years.
hasn't won a game for 2 years, you keep showing up dreaming that it could happen.
We have to, absolutely.
And that's what our game is built on. People who show up even when things aren't going your way. Just because your team hasn't won a game for 2 years doesn't mean they can't win.
It's a good mark on the half-back flank by James Watt. Ball comes forward. Zane Kirkwood receives the ball from Hugh Smart.
Beautiful kick from Kirkwood. Finds a player at centre half back. Now that's a high up and under kick. Really doesn't favour
Smith takes
anyone.
the fly, and
Nuri
Nuriootpa
able to
keep the
mop
ground.
up. Beautiful chip kick there. Just over the top of his teammate. Handball given. And a kick around the corner.
There's a free kick
Just
given. There's a
might have
free
been in
kick.
the back. A little bit of cramp for the player receiving the free kick.
As we look at the replay here, the
38, who we don't have listed on our official team sheet. Oh no, sorry, Sam Schmal. Be taking a shot for his first goal of the day. And this would be close to enough for Tanunda, I'd believe. Just offline, and the Tanunda crowd taking a little bit of delight in that. Especially the Ralph BLG types who are umpire haters.
young Schmarley might want that one back. It looked like he kicked it off his knee.
And if you can't kick it off your shin, there's something wrong with you.
From 20 yards out, absolutely.
As we
That's a
said,
very good
Tanunda
mark.
player coming to the bench now, limping heavily.
It's Benson Heinze, who's been stout in the back line.
Been very good, but his day appears to be over.
The young Tom Giles has taken a strong mark, and he's preparing to kick from well outside 50. He does look like a pull-through for something that you'd clean a rifle with, so I don't know how energetic he thinks,
harsh.
but like I said,
He's from a thin family.
I've seen his dad. No, he's not. But if you're wearing boots like that, you would want to be ready to play footy. He comes in. He's given it a fair roost. It's a fair
Shots
bit
fired
of air,
from Dan Eggleton.
and he's whacked the woodwork at the northern end.
That's a great attempt at goal for a guy that you gave no chance for weighing 2 kilos.
I just said that you'd want to be able to play if you're wearing boots like that. So there's a very short kick right in front of goal from the out of defence for Tanunda. Sam Cahoon has nowhere to go. He's given it to Brett Dowse. Brett Dowse is still stuck in the back pocket.
Dowse has played manfully for Tanunda today, but hasn't had a lot of help. He's going back in the direction whence it came. Finds a player out there in Brock Wilch.
Young Brooks, the under-17s captain, so he's manfully playing. Young Nichols there, got a dog of a ball into the schnoz.
Don't mind the odd falcon.
Might pay to get your hands around the nut, son.
Apparently that is the name of the game. Hack ball forward for Nuri again. Strong mark taken back there by Kirkwood. Handball off leads to another boundary throw in. Deep in Nuri's forward line, as Nuri looked to be sealing the deal on this game. We are nearly 20 minutes in on the Ray White Craig Moore time clock in the fourth quarter of the game of the day here from Tanunda Oval.
The total of the tape's going to be in 31 shots at goal to 14.
Yes.
That continual
And
force.
that handball forward. Tanunda
Gers
able to
kicks out
clear
of
the ball.
defence.
Gers back on the field.
There's a 3-on-1 marking context.
The player at the front from
And
Tanunda
Henry Voigt.
takes the mark.
Taking a very good mark. Been called to play on.
Runs around the Nuri player on the goal on the mark, sorry. And Mitch Norton, the big mark in defence.
The Tanunda player basically gave up on that with the second Nuri player man in them. So.
And Cuddles Norton, as he's known at the club.
I think they're all going through their paces now. Yeah.
The heat is definitely out of the game now.
I must admit, after watching 20-something years of Tanunda Nuri clashes, it barely got above lukewarm, to be honest.
Absolutely, but Nuri did the work, and the best players on the field are all Nuri players that I would point to. Grigurki was fantastic, and the young kids, Kai Rosenzweig and Jack Henke, really set the game alight when it was there to be won. Fernell and Bart Reiner's combination were too good for the Tanunda ruckman.
Yeah, I think Fernell's just been outstanding. He continued to jump over the top. And that experience playing at league level.
And Terence Wilford very handy as well.
Without a doubt.
But Nuri definitely too strong today, and they'll add another win to their tally.
Well, it reflects a bit of a disappointing start for the local side. Seen a couple of lads come off. Honourable mentions would go to BLG. I think
Douse, very good.
Douse, yeah.
Matt Westhoff did his job
Matt
down back.
And Fechner. And you can't, the coach has been, deep
did a lot of work
for
most of the game. Kirkwood's had a lot of touches, but beyond that, I'm struggling to find a winner.
It's getting skinny after that, which is really unfortunate.
As we see another stoppage on the outer side.
Especially in front of a massive home crowd here with a lot of
great crowd here at Tanunda.
Past players coming back to have a look at the game. Fernell just takes the ball out of the ruck. Behemoth. Bentley dropped the mark he possibly should have taken.
Absolutely, he'd be filthy with that.
And Bart Ryan there playing second in the forward line with him. Taps it straight down the young fella's throat. The snap on goal by
Grigurki on the left foot.
And another
and
miss.
It's a point, but all the play is Nuri, and that reflects the day. Currently on the scoreboard, Nuri 11 goal 20, 86, leading Tanunda 7-7-49 on the Birds Barossa scoreboard.
It's 11-21 now.
Wasteful kicking, but it's just weight of numbers has been too much for Tanunda.
That is a fantastic tackle there by young Hamish Martin, another senior Colt.
Yes, son of the great Carl Martin.
No.
No?
No relation. No, son of Steve Martin.
Oh, okay.
The only son of 5 other daughters. So he's doing well. He knows how to fight and scratch.
That's well taken in the middle of the ground. Handball back.
Doherty, Griffiths Long. Asked a lot of Henry Voigt. Big Henry's been playing manfully. And he's done well to evade.
He shook his player off there.
Goes to the goal face and unfortunately out of bounds on the full. Probably the most comprehensive forward movement Tanunda's seen all quarter.
Apart from that goal in the first 2 seconds.
What did you say? It's that far ago we have both forgotten it.
Ancient history.
Nuriootpa players here at 24.5 minutes are just padding out time, I think. Probably thinking about what outfit they're wearing when they come back here to Tanunda
for the op shop night.
Footy club and spend heaps of money. Right as Nuriootpa continue to defend. The ball keeps getting kicked into a very shallow zone there for the Tanunda forwards, and there's no activity whatsoever. I think Nick Madden's been outstanding in the back line for Nuriootpa, and has offered amazing resistance. Bit of handball play out the wing side to Tanunda, but it's not going to be end in anything positive. And Nuriootpa players just running with the Tanunda players, and they shut it down. Fernell, very, very strong in ruck all day. Good use of the handball. Plenty of run through the middle. Young Rosenzweig, here he goes. He's having a shot, and he's picked out Bentley, who is strolling in to slot it through for what I believe is his 4th or 5th goal for the day. So the Grant Burgewine scoreboard shows Nuriootpa 12 goals, 20-92 to a very disappointing Tanunda, 7-7-49. In what can only be described as outstanding football conditions here at Tanunda Oval. In front of a huge crowd. The game continues to roll on. Rucks go at it. Ball is missed. Nuriootpa clear out of the middle. Very long kick into the forward line, and it's through for a behind. Matthew Westhoff, captain, aiming to kick the ball out. Plays on. Puts the ball 75 metres out to the defensive side. Brock Wilkes kicks the ball up to Henry Voigt, who pushes his opponent clean across the line. Both players showing that they're pretty well done for the day, I think. Thanks to BLG sponsors. Thanks to the Ray White Real Estate that put on this fantastic podcast. Nuriootpa moving the ball forward. Clean shot at goal. And come off the side of the boot, young Falland. And he's put it out of bounds. So 28 minutes gone. Feltus kicks to Smart on the half-back flank, and that is the end of the game, with Nuriootpa taking out the crosstown clash. 12 goals, 21-93 to Tanunda, 7 goals, 7-49. So we've seen a correction here. It's actually 95. We've got 95 to 49 on our scoreboard. Yeah, again, the Barossa scoreboard there.
And some scores from around the ground, Dan. At Kapunda, Gawler Central 101 to Kapunda 67.
Is it emotional, Teeks? Are you going all right, mate?
I'm fine, but at South Gawler, the scoreboard was wrong. But the score is technically South Gawler 8 goal 14.
Williston 12 goals 7.
Williston getting up there in the grand final replay.
Wow. Well, it doesn't give him a trophy, but it'll make Jarman a bit happier.
A few of my mates in the crowd will be a lot happier too. I'm really glad I'm not in Gawler tonight.
No, they'll all be going nuts. They'll find something to do. It'll be silly, but
the place to be tonight in the Barossa is Tanunda Footy Club. Colonel Mustard playing. Definitely the best place to be in the Barossa tonight.
It sounds like it'll go off. I think I'll be giving it a miss. I'll be probably sitting up the top of the hill listening to the shenanigans. From
sitting at home with a couple of glasses of beautiful Ben Murray Shiraz, which I love.
Well, I hope so. But no, Just something on the locals here too. It's still harvest season around here. There's still just the finish of it, grape harvest. There's a lot of people still coming back to footy, and it's very important. And having people like Barossa actively support what we do here, and local sport is huge. I know they've been flat out crushing grapes and making wine for the world.
I'd also like to mention, coming up on the 14th of May at Tanunda is Ladies' Day. Always a massive day here. The Tanunda Footy Club do Ladies' Day very well. I think bring mum along, buy her a ticket to the Ladies' Day for the day, do something really nice.
I think it's $50 all you can eat and drink. And,
yes. Beautiful package.
It's a great package, but it also supports breast cancer research
yes,
and breast cancer healthcare in the
local fundraisers for breast cancer research.
Absolutely.
And they do a really good job in the local community, so please come along to the Tanunda Football Club on the 14th, or book a ticket in advance. You can go on the Tanunda Facebook page and book it through Eventbrite, through the link.
That's it. But no, thanks Teeks for the commentary and keeping everything on board. But congratulations to Nuriootpa, who are an outstanding young side. They're really going well. And
thank you, Dan, for taking time out of vintage and the hard work you were doing in the winery this morning.
Very good. Should say the Riesling. It's bloody brilliant.
I look forward to it. Thank you. And that'll be us signing off from Tanunda. And we'll talk to you next week from Game of the Day.